Alright guys, so I'm out here today. We're white bass fishing. Just seen a school bus, so we pulled up on top of them. And they are some good ones. I've been catching a lot of small ones lately, but these are the ones we want. This is going to be every cast here. That's what you come out here and white bass fish for. Get your stuff all hung up. So what I'm using here is just it's a slab spoon with a curly tailed jig on top. A slab spoon it's really just a hunk of lead, kind of like a teardrop shaped hunk of lead, and it's big out here. This is one of the few lakes that I've really seen it just outfish everything else, but it's just imitating a shad. The fish that I cleaned yesterday were just puking up shad that were about that big, so that's all we're imitating. Like I said, you can see all the fish there on the side scan down there. We're just chucking that out on the bottom, bouncing it back, just trying to beat the bottom with it. And fish they're just picking it up because they're real aggressive right now. They're just been beaten, so nope. They're just down there just thrashing at it. So you end up with a lot of misses. One of the smaller ones I've caught out of this school, but still a very respectable fish. So, and the best part is, I think I was the only one that saw the birds jump, because all the other boats are still over there on the other eye. So I've got this whole school to myself. One thing about fishing this white bass is, man, you got to be able to hold your tongue and fish with the fish in the group, because it doesn't matter what you do, there's going to be people get in right with you. So you know, it's a little aggravating, but at the same time, you know, you don't own the water. So there's one on the jig. It's just a little pearl color curly tail that we put above. A lot of guys throw crankbaits in this situation, about as deep a diving crankbait as they can get with a jig on top. Personally, I don't like doing that. I think you miss a lot of fish, especially this year since I've had the live scope. I've watched the white bass on the live scope, and unless they are just absolutely in the middle of a feeding frenzy, the majority of the fish are sitting on the bottom, and then they push the shad up from underneath. So if you're pulling that crankbait right over the top of them, a lot of times you'll miss a fish. That's my opinion, of course. Like I said, guys, this slab spoon here, it is, I always make fun, it's literally just a hunk of lead with a hook on it. This one here used to be white. It, you know, you can put eyes, you can paint them all different colors. I pour them myself, and a lot of times I just leave them just lead colored. It's more of a reaction aggressive strike, and it still kind of mimics a shad, even if they're not white. Alright, so one little quick tip here is, you can see my little curly tail jig, he's getting to where you can call his pants getting pulled down because the fish are missing it. So instead of having to deal with that every cast, you just take your little super glue, put you a little super glue there on the head of that jig, and attach it to the lead. And it takes just seconds, and it's set. And then you're good to go, and that won't happen so much. That won't get your pants pulled down, they call it. So I'll throw back out here. This is the best part about this kind of fishing. If you're on them, it is literally every single cast. Let that slab spoon hit the bottom, just bounce it back. legitimately 100 degrees out here right now, but we got some wind, so it's making it tolerable. But you just can't hardly keep fish alive in a live well. So the best thing to do is just take you a cooler, get you some ice. All right, so off camera there, I probably caught another somewhere between 40 and 50 fish, good ones, small ones, the whole kind of mix. So then kind of the school, just as they do, they kind of dissipate. You know, once they break, you stay on for a little bit, and then you gotta go search them down again. So that's where we're at now. I'm gonna stay on the general high that they were at, because more than likely they just pushed off to the first ledge, the first break. Normally how they do that. So for trolling here, this is how I'm gonna find them back again. They've been hitting purple pretty good, so I've got a number 7 flicker shad here, up about 2 feet. I've got that same kind of a white curly tail with a little spinner on it, just to give it a little bit more flash. So now normally I like to run, if I'm really searching for them, I'll run 3 rods. That's as many as we can use. I'll run 2 planer boards and then 1 just straight back. But I know they're on this high, so there's no need to be putting out planer boards, because I'm going to do a lot of turning and everything else. So I got line counter reels here, and I know I'm in about 10 feet of water here, 9-10 feet of water. I'll run these flicker shads down to about 9-9.5 foot, which is about 95 feet or so out back. Then you've got that 1/8 ounce jig that pulls it just a little bit more. So anyway, 90-95 feet roundabout on the one. And just because I know they're feeding real good, I'm going to run another rod, and I'm going to run it up high a little bit. So I'll run it about 80 feet, 8.5 foot deep is what it's going to pull. And then, you know, we'll go through here and we'll hit a couple of fish here. Normally I like to make 3 passes before I go back and cast an area. So if I hit a fish, I'll mark it. Go back through, hit another fish, mark it. And by the 3rd time, then I know back, then I can go back. I'm pretty confident on getting on that school again. So anyway, that's where we're at now. I know there's somewhere out there in this high, so I'm gonna get this other rod out. We're gonna find them fish back again. All right, so just saw a bunch of fish on side scan, and this rod went off. Boy, it really went. So we'll see what this fish is. I saw a bunch of fish on side scan too. That's a pretty good fish. Whatever it is, it's pretty big. We're drifting with the wind, so kick the motor off here. It could potentially be a catfish. There's a lot of catfish out here trolling like this. It's spinning around. It looks like it's a white bass, and it looks like he probably swiped at it. I think I got him kind of hooked down the side with the crankbait, so that's why it made it feel so big. I'm dragging him sideways. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm dragging him in by his gills. It's a big white bass though. Big white bass. So that's good. I saw those fish too on the side scan. I saw those fish before this fish even hit, you know, because like I said, I'm 90 feet back. So I saw them, and I actually put a waypoint on the fish that I saw to go back and troll through, and then I caught the fish too. So it's a pretty good school of fish right there. Like I said, I saw them and then we caught them. I'll tell you what, this side scan, the side scan is just incredible. You just cannot, nothing can hide. So especially in these white bass situations, you know, or these schooling fish, you know, the schools are easy to pick out. So one other little quick tip or tidbit or whatever. So I'm running line counter reels, and naturally they have the clicker on them. Now I always use the clicker because, like I said, I'm running these crankbaits right down on the bottom, so I get hung up a lot. But if you run that clicker on there, you know, and you get hung up and you're doing other things, not watching that rod, you could, you know, rather than just pulling, dragging, being silent, that clicker is a tattletale that gives you away, and then you can kind of, you know, get your stuff together and go retrieve your bait, you know. So always run that clicker if you have them on your trolling rods and reels. Always run them. Even whenever I'm drift fishing, on my drift fishing rods, I use line counter reels too for drifting for cats, and those have clickers on them too. And I use the clicker, especially at night. You get hung up or something, that clicker is a tattletale, and you're not dragging out 300 feet of braid or, you know, doing other things. So just kind of remember that. Alright, so getting close to that other spot, and I actually just hooked up with this fish here. Actually just a little ways out. I haven't quite made it to the spot yet. That's good. I'll take catching fish anytime. This one was 85 back. Another nice one. This one came on the jig. You can see that jig can actually be, very effective. I've seen a lot of times actually where that jig has outproduced the crankbait in a day for whatever reason. Alright, you see all those little dots right there? That's actually that school of fish that I went over. You can see there's the waypoint. All those are fish. That's that school. So I put that waypoint, and then I go back here. I put that waypoint right there, and then I caught that fish right there. And if I scale it at 100 feet, that's about 90 foot back. So I caught that fish right in that school. So pretty confident that's a good school of biting fish. You know, sometimes you get a school. Sometimes, put you guys back up here. Sometimes you get a school of fish that just don't bite. You know, side scan can only do so much. So, like I said, a lot of times whenever I do this, I'll run it with side scan on my map. Other times I'll run it with side scan and then down scan also, because sometimes these fish will be a little bit deeper, shallower in the water column, and with that 2D I can kind of, you know, figure out, you know, how deep I need to run my crankbaits too. So it just kind of changes. But you know, this is what's nice about having this boat set up the way I am. I've been fishing out of this boat now for the last Friday evening, and then today's Sunday. I fished out of it all day yesterday too, and I've never left the back end of this boat. Everything I can do is right here. I've got everything set up here. I'm not running back and forth. It just makes it super convenient. Alright guys, so I figured I'd share with you exactly how the proper way to clean one of these fish are, because it seems that, you know, some people say that they taste bad. Well, it's all in how you clean them. So I'll do one real slow for you. So I use electric flay knife. These guys have they've got some horribly thick rib bones, so it's really beneficial to have a electric flay knife. So we're going to come in just like normal fish here, cut down to the spine, roll the knife, go through the rib bones, go down the back. We're going to bounce off that backbone, you can see, and then we're going to leave that right there. Now here's where this differs from a lot of the fish that you guys have cleaned in the past. These white bass have a lot of red meat right against the skin. Now, that's actually what makes these fish taste bad. So whenever we go to skin it, just hold your knife up. I like to come right to the edge of my board. That way I can get good and flat. So we'll come up, get right to the edge of the board there, will peel up. And you can see that leaves just a little bit of meat there, and you can see how clean that fillet is. Now as simply as take that rib bone out of there, there's that fillet. You can see how nice and clean that is. I'll do this other side here for you, but I'll skin it all the way down to the meat. Okay? So they're skinned it all the way down. Now look at the difference right there. Take the ribs out of this one and we can compare. Look at the difference. That's why a lot of people say catfish tastes bad. They're the same way. See that red? It's what you don't want. So by lifting that knife up, you can take all that out. And you can do them real quick. And you're not wasting any of the fish because it's all bad. Keep that knife level. You can see you leave all that. This one's stomach empty. They're puking up about 2-3 inch shad, so them crankbaits are the perfect perfect bait mimicking bait. Anyway guys, thought that I'd share with you. That was the last 2 fish I had, so figured I'd share with you that's kind of how I do the cleaning of the white bass. Alright guys, I'm going to shoot this little outro here just before the wind blows me out of here and something else happens. So anyway, I'm going to keep fishing a little bit more, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video here. Like I said, I'm still trying to get better at it. So anyway, you know, I end up got a nice cooler there full of a good sized white bass to clean up. Let me know your opinion of the video, how I can change things, better or worse, don't do them at all, whatever. You know, but still getting better at it, still trying a few things, like I said, with the mounting and you know, camera angles and things like that. But you know, it's fun making these little videos, and you know, maybe somebody can take something, you know, as far as educational too. So anyway, I'm gonna go hit up one more spot here before it gets dark, and then we'll catch you guys on the next video. As always guys, appreciate it.